So the first one I'd like to start off with is my entire life, because that's just one big embarrassing story, just the whole thing. Like really, it is. It's kind of sad. Hey guys, so I didn't have enough fun telling you stories in the first video, so I'm gonna embarrass myself even further and tell you some embarrassing stories. Not even just from my childhood, just embarrassing stories about my life. I've narrowed it down to 3 on this note card that I'm gonna tell you about today that I feel I can talk about without crying at this point. So let's get started. Gonna start off with a classic that I wish I were making up that hadn't actually happened to me, but it did. And in the last video where I'm telling stories, I talk about how there's a handful of stories from the pool and I should probably just never show my face at the pool ever again, except I continue to show my face at that pool. Even now, I still go back sometimes. This is one of those stories. So I was like about 12, 13 in that range. I had like gotten to go to the Limited 2 and pick out a bikini, and I felt cool about myself and my life decisions and that bikini until this day. You may already see where this is going. Just wait, because I promise you it might get better. I don't know. I can't promise that. Anyways, it had one of those like circle things in the middle between the boobs, and it was like a plastic charm with like dangly things that hung on it. Again, I felt super cool about that decision. So we're at the pool. I was always kind of the scaredy cat one in our group. Adara's always been a daredevil. Erin was like more so a daredevil than I was, and then there was me who got hurt jumping her first time on the trampoline. I can't make this shit up, like straight up. I'm at the pool. They are always going off the high dive, and I'm like, I can do without the high dive. Like even the slide sometimes is a little too adventurous for me. But this year of my life, for whatever reason, I decided you're gonna conquer your fear of the high dive. You're just gonna do it. You'll be fine. And not only do you not need any of your friends to go like wait in line with you, you're going to assemble all of them on the other side of the deep end to watch. So all of my friends, like, and I don't just mean Adara and Erin, like the people I came with, or Erica, like no, like all of my friends I knew at the pool at that day, and I'm pretty sure it was like the first like week of summer, so everybody was there, like of course, everyone. So I assemble all of these people to watch me jump off of the high dive, which I didn't know how to dive, so I was literally just going to jump off of the high dive. I don't know why I needed an audience, but anyways, so you had to climb up this ladder that was like cold and wet and slimy and gross. I did about halfway up it and I'm like, oh my god, this was a terrible decision. This was a terrible decision. Like I do not want to do this. But in order to back out, I would have to crawl back down the cold slimy ladder and also like try to climb around other people who are also waiting in line and look like an even bigger idiot. So like I stuck it out. I'm like, okay, I'll just jump off. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Get all the way to the top. The person in front of me is going and I'm like, oh my god, this is so much higher than it looked to begin with. What am I doing here? And again, look back down. No way am I crawling down all of the stairs when it's my turn. Everyone will be definitely looking. And again, it would have ended up on this video no matter what. So I get out to the end of the diving board and again, it's way too high. All of my friends are looking and waving and I'm like, wow, I'm an idiot. This was a terrible decision. So I try to hurry up and get it over with. I don't think the board bounced at all. Like I think I just like slid myself off of the end of it, like I jumped that lightly. And before I had even gotten all the way off the diving board, the beautiful tassel in between my boobs decides this seems like the best possible moment for me to break. And so it broke and just... it just broke. It just gave up on life on its like 3rd day on the job. As I'm in the air, like, and it happened way before I ever hit the water, so like there's no chance that you could be like, well maybe nobody saw anything. Like no, everyone saw everything. And to make matters worse, I had no other bathing suit to change into. So instead of just going home like a normal person, like, okay, we've put in like a full day's work of embarrassment today, we can go home early. No, I was not going home. I wanted to stay. So I ended up wearing this weird bathing suit of Adara's, and it was a whole nother story for a whole nother time. That was terrible though, and that definitely ranks pretty high on my embarrassing things that have happened to me. Yeah, again, I don't know why I didn't just go home. I should have definitely gone home after that. I don't even know, like, I can't even say that's the most embarrassing because I literally just looked back down at the 2 other stories I'm gonna tell you and went, it's pretty embarrassing also, I don't know. The next one, I definitely shed some tears over, just not when anyone was looking. So I think I was in 6th or 7th grade, so again, like 12, 13, right in that area of awkwardness. It was the first year that I had to have gym class with boys because in elementary school they always separated the gym classes. And you know, so that's embarrassing all on its own for lots of reasons. But it was also the first year that I was part of the school district I live in now, and they do this horrendous thing I'm sure lots of other schools do called the PACER test. I really hope it wasn't just my school. So we did this thing called the PACER test, and it's basically like I-Step for gym class. It's like this whole, you have to do this whole presidential fitness bullshit. This is part of that. And basically you have to run across the damn gym in between beeps, and the beeps get closer and closer together. Okay, first of all, I hate running. Second of all, I hate running in front of people. And third of all, I am not good with the like timed beep bullshit because it just makes me nervous, and then when is the other beep gonna happen? And then everything just goes downhill from there. No, I'm not good at the like high stakes music. No, I'm not good at these things. So I automatically knew I was gonna fail. So I had already decided in my mind, I'm gonna play it like this was my plan all along. I'm only doing 10 and then I'm just done because I'm a girl and I don't want to sweat and yada yada yada. Nobody needed to know that I really could only do 10. Like, that was no one's business. So we're lined up. I decided, let's get this over with. I went with Group A because they split your class into 2 groups so you don't all run into each other, even though you do anyways. And we're lined up, ready to go. Haven't even started yet. The first beep sounds. I'm already like, oh my god, I can't do this. Literally, I take one step and someone else, not even me, someone else steps on my shoelace, so I go flying. So perfect way to start off the very beginning of this stupid test, if you can even really call something in gym class a test. I mean, can you? That's a whole nother discussion too. So I literally fall on my face and like skin up my knee, and it was this in front of everyone, and I was new in school. I'm pretty sure this was in 6th grade, and I was new to that school system that year, and you do it at the beginning of the year. So I probably had like 2 friends at the time. That was definitely a fantastic way to start off that test, and then I still had to run for 10 laps, and then I was dying at the end of 10 laps. I kid you not, I probably could have done 12 tops, but I decided to just cut my losses at 10. I had already decided, like, fuck that test. I was not doing well. My friends I had at that time that I am still friends with, like, they still to this day bring that up as how, like, horrible of a moment that was and how happy they are that it didn't happen to them. Because it happened to me. So the last story I have to tell you, I can definitely really see the humor in now. Not as embarrassing now, but the time that it happened, it was the most embarrassing thing that had ever happened to me for years, and I was so upset. And just anyways, let me just tell you the damn story. I was like probably around 8, and in the neighborhood I grew up in, Adara's grandparents lived like diagonally from me, so she was there all summer, but during the school year she was at her house a lot more, and I would only see her really on the weekends. Well, at the end of like harvest and fall, everyone was going back to school. My mom had a tomato garden, and I think this was maybe like the first year that we had like a big tomato garden, so there were lots of like extra tomatoes left over that were kind of squishy or had like a couple holes in them, you know, weren't edible but also weren't like disgusting yet. So she's trying to decide in her mom brain what we should do with these tomatoes, and the best thing that she can think of and lands on is to assemble all of the neighborhood kids, which is me and like 6 boys because Adara's at home. So my only other girl in the neighborhood, because I didn't know Erin yet, she was a little bit further over, was gone. So assemble all of the boys from the neighborhood who already picked on me, and we're gonna have a tomato fight basically with all of these extra tomatoes that are kind of smushy. I wouldn't say rotten yet, but they were a little ripe. And I don't know if you've ever had a water balloon fight, but I have. And I find water balloons to be somewhat painful, like depending on how full they are. Tomatoes that are not completely rotten are definitely painful. Maybe I was a wuss, I don't know, but I was not enjoying it. I was not having fun at all. I think the only time I was enjoying it was when I was not being pelted with tomatoes, yet I was pelting someone else, which was like maybe one time in the whole tomato fight, I'm sure. Anyways, not the point of the story. So this is happening. I'm already not having a fantabulous time. And my mom, in her mom brain, decides to throw a tomato at me. I don't know, it was probably hilarious. I'd probably throw tomatoes at my children now, I don't know. But she throws a tomato at me and it ends up hitting me like, I don't know, probably like right here. I remember it as being in my face, but I feel like it couldn't possibly have actually been my face. It was probably like in my neck region or close to my face. It hurt. I burst into tears because I was a little crybaby, sort of a little. I'm still a crybaby, let's be real. I was very upset, and then all of the boys decided to point and laugh. Again, my mom and her mom brain decides to, instead of coming to my comfort and aid, point and laugh with the rest of the neighborhood boys. Thanks, Mom. Thank you. That's not scarring at all. Thanks, Mom. I know you're watching this. But seriously, I was pissed. I was so pissed. So not only was I like crying because ow, tomato to the neck / maybe face, but now I'm angry and embarrassed. So embarrassed. So what do I do but start crying even harder? And then to teach my mom a lesson, I cried all the way through my shower. Like I ran inside, I cried all the way through my shower, I cried all the way through supper that night, and like halfway through a TV show, I'm pretty sure, until my mom was finally like, I can't take it anymore, I'm sorry. Or I finally accepted the apology. That's probably what actually happened. She'd probably been trying to apologize and I just wouldn't accept it until, you know, a certain point. But that was like 2 hours of just like crying out of anger. Like, of course, my face didn't hurt anymore. I was just angry. My pride hurt. She embarrassed me, and I still talk to some of the people from that neighborhood, and let me tell you, they still remember. They still remember, so thanks, Mom. You scarred me for life. So thanks, Mom, for scarring me for life and for forever making me the butt of everyone's jokes always, even though I probably would have ended up that way anyways. So those are the only 3 I'm going to tell today. I definitely have more, so give me a thumbs up to the story if you would like to see a part 2 of embarrassing stories. If you've got more ideas for different story times, definitely leave them below in the comments. And if you're not already a subscriber, you should definitely click that button. I'm definitely putting out more videos though, and I've been definitely trying to rack my brain for new things, and I will definitely be putting out a yoga video soon. I've been promising that for like a 1.5 years now, but for reals, it's gonna happen very, very soon. So hang in there. I've not forgotten. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. Thank you for clicking on this video at all, and thank you for your continued support.